There are many, many instances where a lower court decision has gone against us and then been reversed. If lower court rulings had always stood, Grand Central Terminal would have been knocked down 40 years ago, and we're confident that today's decision will ultimately be reversed too.
Maybe not the strongest argument we've ever heard from Mayor Michael Bloomberg for one of his policies, but for all of you New Yorkers out there who are excited for the soda ban to take effect tomorrow, Mayor Bloomberg included, bad news. A judge has just invalidated Mayor Bloomberg's plan to ban large sugary drinks. State Supreme Court Justice ruled the new regulation, quote, arbitrary and capricious, and declared it invalid. He also said he thought it was the city council's job and not the mayor's job. The judge's ruling came as the result of a lawsuit by business groups opposed to the ban. Just hours before that ruling, Bloomberg, he was touting the plan as a national model. Now, there's been a lot of blowback against the proposed ban, but this wasn't Nanny Bloomberg's first rodeo. In his quest to make the Big Apple just a little bit healthier, his proposed soda ban was the icing on the cake. I don't think he would want icing on cake either. Back in 2010, Bloomberg unveiled a plan to cut the amount of salt in packaged and restaurant food by 25% over a 5-year period. And beginning in May of 2011, smokers no longer able to light up in New York's parks, beaches, and pedestrian plazas. Most recently, Bloomberg proposed a ban on certain polystyrene foam products, stuff like styrofoam cups, which begs the question, is all of this the epitome of the nanny state, or is it just good government? And let's start with the soda ban itself. I'm curious if you were pro-soda ban, anti-soda ban?
The former Commissioner of Health from New York City, Dr. Frieden, used to give a presentation about obesity and as a nationwide epidemic. And he'd say, you know, there are certain components of this that we can go and we could try to correct some of the things that people put in their bodies. Now, you may say that's protectionism, that's overreaching, but when you see the statistics in terms of what the quality of life is for people, you know, you can't argue with that. Yes, it does make sense to do something like this.
But it's one thing if there's a policy in place that, you know, could potentially hurt your neighbor. Engaging in my right, I hurt you. Isn't this something where it's just hurting myself? Shouldn't I have the right to hurt myself?
Well, the argument we make with seatbelts. I mean, seriously,
do
you have to put a seatbelt on?
You're hurting yourself, which is the case in many of these communities where Bloomberg had tried to put this in. What if you honestly don't know that you're hurting yourself?
Don't I have the right to be stupid or ignorant?
Well, isn't government's job to try and protect its citizens as much as possible?
We keep answering each other's questions with more questions.
Rhetorical.
Let's bring somebody else in.
No, but is the nanny state, and there's a certain element of nanny state in any government policy or government regulation, but is that what we want a government to do?
No, we don't. I firmly believe we don't want to do that, but there are broad-reaching impacts in terms of health insurance. Healthcare, there's such a focus on that now.
That's a fair point.
If you go to the hospital more, it costs more. So, and also just the quality of life. That again, these presentations after the age of 50, the quality of life just plummeting as a result of smoking and heart disease and things like that.
A valid point on the health concerns and the impact, but you raise a really good point on the fiscal side of all this, because if you're seeking treatment because you're obesity or heart disease or whatever, and you can't afford to pay for it, what happens?
We all pick up the costs. You know, right now under Obamacare, you know, obviously the health exchanges, there'll be insurance for everybody, but it's kind of a pooled, you know, employers, everybody pays into that. So as a society, if we really if people became healthier and their quality of life was better and they sought less treatment, less pharmaceuticals, all of us would benefit from the reduction in costs.
How far does this go? Could the mayor or could a government say everybody has to go to the gym and do cardio for 5 hours a week? I mean,
be a more attractive city if he said that. You know.
Go ahead.
No, please. You.
No, I think you're against it. I strongly support what the mayor is doing. The fact of the matter is, and again, you and I agree, I don't know what's going on here tonight, but we agree. And the reason this is very serious for me, because when I leave here tonight, I'm going to go home and inject 50 cc's of insulin into my arm or into my stomach. And I've been doing this for the last 10 years, plus taking 3 pills as a diabetic. And the reason why I brought up the information, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I am telling you, as someone who grew up at 184th Street and Webster Avenue in the Bronx, many of these people, and I've used the term these people here, don't know how much sugar is in this stuff. And for many of these people growing up, when you're on a government grant or low income, you go buy what you can afford. And what you can afford is the soda that's a 64 ounce for 99 cents. Well, guess what? There's about 100 milligrams, if not more, of sugar in that soda. And most people with a health education wouldn't even look at that stuff. But you're trying to survive, so you don't know.
Should KFC or should Big Macs be illegal on that same line of thinking?
But you know what? I raise this question to all of you. Why is it, do you think, big business is trying to fight this so much? Why?
Oh, it's going to cost them money. It's going to take money out of their pockets.
Right. Why? Do you think they care about us? That's why they're fighting so much to overturn this ban? Why are they fighting so hard against this ban?
Well, they look at it from a slippery slope type of perspective, which is the issue
slippery slope, huh?
No,
but
it's the issue that you're raising. That is, how much is too much? How much government we want in our lives? At which point do we become the Orwellian society of Big Brother telling us what we can and what we can't do? I think that there's a middle road to this. I mean, look at the smoking ban issue. For years and years, no, we can't ban smoking. It's people's rights to smoke. You know, well, after a while, people are like, well, you don't miss it.
But again, that argument comes down to the individual damage versus the public damage. And I can understand if you're in an airplane or if you're in an enclosed room, secondhand smoke is deadly to other people.
You can smoke outside now in New York City.
No, I know, because somebody could walk by and there's secondhand smoke there as well. But you can still smoke in your own home.
True. And you can still take these big drinks that we now cut out all the sugar and go home and take a couple things of sugar and put them in there. You do it with your coffee. You know, you can add the sugar you want. I guess the question is, it's the baseline knowledge. How much do we know about what's going in our food?
Let me break away from the debate. Straight up politics/legal. Do you think the sugary soda ban takes effect before Bloomberg leaves office?
No.
Dom?
He's going to win on appeal.
Right?
Yes.
No, I think it's probably illegal.
All right. No consensus on the panel, except you guys all seem to like the...
But you asked about McDonald's, and I know you got tossed to a break.
I don't think they're a sponsor, so I think it's okay.
Oh, okay, good. Because I know as a diabetic, my doctor tells me that there's nothing that I can eat in McDonald's. Absolutely nothing.
But it's a cheap meal, and you were talking about
a cheap meal to an early grave.
No, I understand that, but you were talking before about the soda and you know, people who don't know otherwise.
And then we switch to sodium. Once you get to McDonald's and the Burger Kings, you go from the sugar to the sodium.
And then we'll get to fat.
Well,
and then we'll get to fun and happiness.
But McDonald's,
no more of that.
I'm starving after this conversation.
Yeah, McDonald's is changing though. They have salads on their menus. Well, did that happen because nobody complained? No, it did. And they will adjust. The private sector will adjust to the tastes of consumers. And so if you have government entities, and one thing that this whole thing does is it emphasizes the very fact that people haven't focused on. There's a heck of a lot of sugar in there that you don't need.
But by the way, can't eat a salad as you go through a drive-thru. Yeah. That's one big problem with the salad. So we're going to keep this conversation going online. We want you to head to Facebook and Twitter to sound off NYC soda ban, nanny state, or good government. We're going to take a quick break here on RFL. When we come back, we head overseas to the Vatican, where cardinals from around the globe have assembled to select a new pope. Stay with us.